and there's no audio.
On time.
There's no in-game audio on mine.
Oh
On
god.
mine. Brilliant. So just
Caesar is glitched.
viewers, just
Oh no.
imagine your voices. Just imagine the sound of V6 turbo hybrids. Um, yeah. Cody's left it late this time. They still haven't fixed this issue. It has been ongoing as captains on the spin, so that takes all the intrigue of whether he was going to like hold up people or not. Um, so that's a nice self-sacrifice moment from Captain Sandhu right there. I will share this scene.
The guy losing out is actually Shadow because he's got a 3 seconds
Yeah,
penalty.
he's on mediums as well.
He's
And
on
oh
medium.
my
Oh,
God,
and he
look at that!
almost,
Look at the
my
no
god.
warm up in the tire. Which I mean that doesn't really make sense because Oxidize also would have the warm up in his tire because he's also on mediums. But
Yeah, on mediums.
we'll use no warm up in the tire for the excuse. And meanwhile, Yash Gosalia is actually really
Right.
able to keep up with Sumer.
Catching up, yeah.
To my surprise,
And Sumer being on softs.
yeah, that is the big surprise here, and they should
Yeah.
have heated up earlier as well. So I don't really know what's happened there, but let's just wait
Sumer
and
is
watch.
pulling out.
Yeah, now Sumer is pulling away. Yash Kosali makes a big mistake. He
Shadow again.
really rides that curve. Shadow is now ahead of Oxidize again.
Caesar's right on the tail of Yash.
Caesar versus Yash. I think Caesar will be looking to get this position as quickly as he can. Oxidize versus Shadow. Meanwhile, for position 5, Sumer seems to have streaked ahead. He's really exploited the fact that Caesar was not in P2, and the guy in P2 was not on soft.
Yeah.
So he's pretty much gone away with it. And look, it's really difficult to overtake here. Maybe Caesar's waiting for DRS and conserving some of the DRS to get this overtake done right at the end. Thakurva in for his
Could be,
best
yeah.
result of the season by far right now in P4. Meanwhile, Oxidize, who's somehow in P6, even though I've seen him spin like 5 times. Somebody, speaking of spin, it is vintage player again, so pit stops really didn't make a difference in the end.
Oh god.
Speaking of
Come
stops,
on, vintage.
vintage player is on a 5 stopper, so it's not all lost yet. Maybe we can take the delta time lost from that as the reason. He
Yeah.
probably, if he had done the same stops as everyone else, he'd have won by a minute. So
Minute. Yep.
that's how racing works, people.
Oxidize Rage is hunting down Shadow. Both on
Yeah,
the same
he
tires.
is
Yeah.
very, very close. But now Shadow's
quick.
attached himself to the back of Thakurva, who's really
Thakurva,
seems to be
yeah.
struggling for some reason. What's happened? Mosquito. Oh,
Mosquito.
Easy Level spun again. He's taken
Again.
every Senna line through this corner that you could imagine. And this is clever play from Sumer here. He's brought everyone to within the second again, so Caesar can't overtake Yash Gosalia. And I give all credit to Yash. He is hanging on. Not only is he hanging on, he is basically driven away from Thakurva.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Oxidize in P6, he will get this position anyway. Shadow will end up 6th because Abhishek is 3.7 or something behind. So, right now, I think for Yash, somebody who wasn't even in the race 5 laps in, literally, he was only there in spirit, as in his ghosted car, but
it's a lovely race for Yash and Caesar because Caesar started dead last, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, he did start dead last.
Yeah, and Yash was away, was thrown out of the game.
Yeah, so Sumer's been runaway leader, and he is definitely showing with this sort of pace that if he was there from the beginning, maybe we could have had a more interesting race at the front. Given the fact that he is still somewhat able to keep up, I think Sumer is taking it easy, and he'll probably go all out for the fastest lap right now. No DRS, I think. Yeah, no
I think
DRS.
he's got DRS is there.
Okay, DRS is there for the last lap, but it's not really going to matter for any significant position change. Maybe easy level bot versus Pradeep for the last points paying position, but
I'm looking at Oxidize making the move on track.
No, I don't think anyone's really making a move. Oh, what's happened to Shadow and Oxidize? Shadow and Oxidized. That is your League Racing compilation of the week, right there.
Yes.
What happened? And that puts Anton high first.
Oh, Natsume crashed.
Oh, not so bad. No, oh my God, that is. Oh no!
Oh no.
All the drama doesn't, as I said from earlier in the previous stream, all the drama in
Ha-
LOS happens like in
happened.
a flash. There's no separation. We had like the most boring laps under safety car ever. Only for everything to go belly off. Will Caesar go for it? Is he going to be close enough?
It
I don't
is
think he is. And somehow
not.
on medium tires. On
My
medium
God,
tires.
Yash.
Yash Gosalia. It is a championship winning worthy drive here. He has, from not having control of his car, so his AI would have used up so much of his ERS in that first stint, to being on mediums, gambling to stay out, he wins the Japanese Grand Prix.
Lovely.
Caesar from all the way last to P2, and Thakurva in P3. That is by far his best
Natsume
result.
P4.
Sumer takes fourth, and he violently
Nice crashes.
crashes Johnny Herbert already over there to tell him that if he had gone 2 kilometers slower, it would have been better.
Better.
And Shadow Sword and Oxidize end up P8 and Anton with a P6. He, from
Good
what I
result from
remember
Mosquito and
last,
Anton.
was stuck at 130R when that safety car came out.
Yeah.
So he's gone from that. Meanwhile, Captain Sandhu is the only man to get lapped, and he is actually still on lap 26. But
Yes,
he still is yet to cross the line. So that just describes his race. Meanwhile, Easy Level did get URL Pradeep in the end for the last point swing position. But Sid might as well just invite all
I'll
of the
invite
podium
these.
boys
Yep,
right here,
do it.
and as I'm just gonna, this McLaren of Sumer stopped here really signifies the whole race, I would say. As Captain Sandhu just streaks in from behind. Yeah.
So we need to get Yash, Thakurva and Caesar.
Yes. Well,
climax.
What's your thoughts on that? I think that this pretty much is like the significance why Yash Gosalia is first in the championship
Yash
right
is
now.
right here.
And yeah, he is right here. Yes, we will get to you in a moment. The running order. Yash P1, Caesar P2, Thakurva P3, Sumer P4, Abhishek P5, Anton P6, Mosquito P7, Shadow P8, Oxide P9, Easy Level P10, Pradeep in 11th, Abhi in 12th, Vintage in 13th, Sandhu in 14th, Jishnu 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th. From Jishnu to Srikanth was all DNF, and Captain Sandhu finished one lap down, but he did get the fastest lap though, so good on you, lad. Caesar was what, 50 something thousands away from breaking that, so I think he'll be disappointed not to get that. But yeah, is he gonna be, speaking of Caesar, is he going to join us? Hopefully he does.
Caesar's here. No, sorry.
Let me just ask him. Otherwise, I mean, we can get started with the interviews once we're into the virtual showroom.
Let's get there.
Yeah, let's get there first. I can see Yash ready up. Yash and Thakur ready up after you're done recording your race director, so we can show the new cars as well.
We have Caesar, yeah.
Caesar is here. Okay. Yeah. Okay, people. Okay. I hope Shadow got the hint that he needs. Okay, fine. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Bear with us a moment, please. Bear with me a moment, actually. You can. Basically, I'm calling Sid unbearable.
Yes.
Is what I'm saying. Yes. But anyway, okay. Where is this? I'm confused with this. Virtual showroom. Yes. Okay. Okay. Let's start our podium interviews with Thakurva P3. I don't think you expected to be here on that even on the last when that last lap began. But this is LOS where literally every incident happens within like a 5 second space of each other. So we always miss stuff, which I am assuming is a ploy by the drivers to make sure that the stewards don't catch like 90% of the illegal activities that they do. That's my conspiracy theory for the day. But anyway, Thakur, good job on that P3. Tell us how you're feeling.
Uh, to be honest, it's been a while. It's been a while since I've tasted some champagne. Yeah, feels good to be back, I guess. In the top three, I mean, Japan has been a strong track for me, and the thing with Japan is you're never good at Japan. Other drivers are just bad at Japan, so that's kind of what I capitalized on. Just tried to keep the car intact, which I haven't done in the entire season, but yeah, tried to do that today and capitalized on a few mistakes, and here we are. So yeah, pretty good race for me. Some little bit of confidence boost as well. So
Yeah, we
I
saw
take
you
that.
had some wicked battles with Wicked Wiki in the midpoint of that race, and I think that was providing a lot of the popcorn entertainment for a lot of it because it was the highest battle for opposition. So I think um, that was some good stuff. And Sid, do you want to ask him something?
Good to have you back on the podium, Takura. Congrats.
Thank you, thank you. Thanks, Sid.
We watched your battle with Wicked Ricky and quite close. And you guys had a moment together. I think one of you all went out of the track too, right?
Yeah, that
So
was
why don't
wicked,
you
Vicky.
just, yeah, it was Wicked Ricky. Congrats again. Good race for you.
Yeah, thank you, thanks a lot, man.
Okay, that's good job from Thakur. That is Red Bull's first
Caesar.
podium of the entire season, I think.
Let's
Um,
go.
But if I'm wrong, then somebody correct me. But I think that is. I don't think I've interviewed a Red Bull driver. But anyway, speaking of this has nothing in relation to the last thing. But speaking of that, let's go to Caesar now. Caesar, I actually wasn't there for quali, so can you just and it wasn't streamed. So can you just tell the viewers what did happen for you in quali for you to start all the way at the back and then the comeback from 19th to second and why you were less unable to like, keep up with Yash in the last like 2 laps?
Right, basically everything.
Yeah.
Uh, Kohli, there was a lot of spinolas, so I was unable to put in a lap. So, but I think that's all right because I was able to avoid all the chaos into turn one. That helped me gain 8 positions on lap one, and then after that, it was just about keeping pace with the medium runners. I knew they will be fighting among themselves using a lot of ERS. Just bided my time and I was able to overcut a couple of drivers, Thakurwa and I believe Wicked Wiki. Yeah, and then after that was kind of just managing the race until that safety car came out. Um, but yes, I mean, congratulations to Thakurwa as well as Yash, and yeah, especially for keeping pace with on those old mediums compared to old soft from me and Sumer. I don't know if Sumer was actually taking this league's name literally by sandbagging because he was unable to, or rather, not wanting to pull up a gap from Yash. But all in all, I think it's a good win from Yash, and yeah, happy with the podium.
Yeah, I mean, I think he pretty much described it very succinctly, Sid. But if you have anything to ask him, you
I
can.
think Caesar would blame Malu for his quali
Yes.
lap because
He's always to blame for everything.
he was trying his best to get Malav into
I mean, I
the
think we should all
lobby.
like blame Malav here. Like,
Yeah,
honestly, like, there's no reason why
That
he shouldn't
safety
be.
car was his fault.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Exactly.
mean, I had a disconnection mid-game. I'm sure that was Malav as well. I don't know. I
Yeah,
mean,
so like if
becoming a
you
little too
just
much.
write in the stewards inquiry, like the
report
stewarding
Malav.
channel that it was Malav, that you blame Malav for an incident, we will always side with you. Remember
Okay.
that. Remember
On
that.
it,
Congrats,
on it as
Caesar.
we speak.
Good.
Thank you.
But speaking of carrying Ferrari, on that note, Yash, a
Ferrari
man who
lover
wasn't
himself.
even in this race until like lap six. I think, and he probably didn't expect to win, but he has won again. Yash, I just give us like your immediate reaction to what the roller coaster of a race that you've had.
Yeah, my immediate message on the chat as soon as this got over, I was like, wait, what just happened? because like you said, I only remember driving like half an hour of this race because thanks to Cody's, it didn't allow me to get back into the game. I think I was I don't know, I was not in the top 10, I think, when I got back, and I had a good. The only close battle I had was with Shadow, and I knew I had to pass him by either making a very aggressive move or by a pit strategy. And he blinked first, which I really was anticipating, and he went into the pits, and I knew that I could lap much faster than him on my in lap so that I can jump him in the pits, and that's what happened, I think, and that's where the race really turned around for me. And I really wanted to maximize my points. I assume Caesar also was running a little low wings, yeah, so was Sumer. So I assume that, even if if I get about 5 laps on like 20% old mediums, I would still be able to manage losing only one position, which was I was anticipating losing a position to Caesar, and getting settling for P3. But last lap, McLaren tried to do redstone and oxidize kind of things, so I that really benefited me. And yeah, I mean, I was surprised that Caesar couldn't catch up with those softs. I think old man needs some more practice in him. But yeah, but yeah, it was overall. I wasn't expecting this at all, so it feels very nice. And I hope Binotto is watching and he can take some notes that Ferrari is capable of winning if they
Yeah,
really put their
this.
mind to it.
Yeah, I think the master plan boys will be watching you. I think he said about maximizing the result. He has maximized the result again, and I think if I am not wrong, that is a chance for that is like a very minute chance, Yash, of you actually winning the title next week. So you do with that information what you will. But Sid, do you have any questions to ask him?
Yash, great comeback from P12 or P14.
Yeah, thank you
You
for
should,
the invite.
yeah, you should thank me later.
Yeah.
I mean, somehow we've just been really quick over here. Congrats again. Good drive by all three of you. Probably
Yeah,
meet you
just to
next week.
get back on VFix for that previous one. I mean, I know maybe whatever chance is there, but it's a marathon, not a sprint.
I mean, it is kind of a, I mean, it is not a sprint next week. So yeah, it is, I would say that that does classify as more uh, of a marathon. But speaking of next week, we are in Barcelona. So
Oh
a
no.
circuit that's
Oh, now I want to
not
see you all use your low wings.
not many use.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, so yeah, speaking of that, we are in Circuit de Barcelona, Catalonia next week. Get ready to have your plastic bags out in honor of that plastic fan Malav. But for now in Japan, we are all done here. Congrats to the podium boys. Congrats to Yoshiko Salia. And we will see you next week.
Bye
Ankara
bye.
Ankara.